Hi, and welcome to M. Claire's Yoga and Wellness channel. So today we're going to do a flow that is geared towards athletes and fitness enthusiasts and recovery. So the aim of this flow is to really help the muscles release, add some stretching, release, and then relaxing. So I also want to incorporate a bit of breathing exercises into this. The reason for it is the deeper we breathe, the more oxygen we have in our bodies, the more blood flow we have, the more recovery we get. So it's really important to incorporate all of these aspects into a flow when you're trying to recover from hard workouts or training programs or whatever it is you might be doing. As an ex-athlete myself, this was something that didn't often get looked at. And I found that when I did incorporate yoga into my training regime, it actually helped massively, because what you find is, you're pushing yourself to the limits, but you're not finding that way to actually release that tension out of the muscles. So we become super strong, super fit, but we don't get that flexibility and mobility in the body as well. So with that being said, let's get started. If there's things that you can't do as well through this, please be patient with your body. Just go as far as you can. We're not here to hurt you. We want to literally let your body release a lot of that stress, tension, and leave you feeling that, your body's now recovered and ready for your next hard workout. Okay, we're actually going to get started in a downward facing dog. Now, if you do find that you have very tight hamstrings, it's fine to have a bend in the knee or your toes to be up here, and you can just slowly work on into the poses as we go along. You'll find that you actually increase your flexibility as well. So just be patient. We've only just started. So keep your feet shoulder width apart. You want to sink your chest towards the floor, reaching your hands towards the front of the mat and really pushing through it. And I really want you to focus on your breathing here. Your inhales and exhales. Slow everything down. Allow that body to really have time to recover. Then we're going to come forward, drop down into our upward facing dog. Keep your toes together, push through your hands, keep your shoulders down, and just feel that nice stretch through the front of the body and the lower spine. If you can keep your thighs off the floor, please do so. If it's too early in the practice, it's fine. And here we're just going to rotate our hips to one side, look over the opposite shoulder, and feel the stretch down the outside of the body. Come back through the center. Pause here. And repeat on the opposite side. Sinking that hip towards the floor and looking over that opposite shoulder. Come back through the center. You're going to bend your knees and push back into a child's pose. Reaching those fingers towards the front of the mat and bringing your chest towards the floor. You can open your knees if that feels good too, deepening the stretch. Interlace your fingers and take your hands over the back of your head. Increasing that really nice stretch in the back of the arms and the upper back. Let your hands come forward again into the child's pose. Come on up onto all fours into our tabletop. And here I just want you to move side to side, getting into the hip joints. And then come back into tabletop. Here we're going to do a breathing exercise. You're going to breathe in through your nose, and then you're going to exhale rapidly as you pull your stomach inwards. So you might find that this feels really weird, but give it time. It's a great breathing technique to learn. So you're going to breathe in, exhale quickly. Ten more. And relax. And come back into child's pose. This time bring your knees to the outside of your mat and sink that chest all the way down. And really reach those fingertips to the front of your mat, placing your forehead on the mat. And again, come on up, bring your knees closer together, tuck your toes, and let's push on up into that downward facing dog. Breathe here. Here I want you to come up onto your toes and then push back down. Getting deeper into the calves and the hamstrings. Then hold it here. Make sure your hands are firmly pushed into the mat, and you're going to take your right hand and reach for somewhere on the side of your left leg. If you can reach towards the ankle, wonderful, and you're just going to look underneath that left shoulder up towards the ceiling, adding this really nice spinal twist here. And the great thing with these sort of poses, we get so many benefits. Not only are we strengthening, but we're stretching, we're increasing our flexibility. So they're great for a recovery workout. Come on back. Center yourself and then change sides. And use that hand that's holding onto the leg to help you get a little bit further in the twist. And come back to center. Hold it here. Then come forward into plank. Again, we're going to do that same breathing exercise. So you're going to be breathing rapidly through your mouth as you pull the core towards your spine. Ready for 20? Well done. Through your chaturanga. Upward facing dog again. Hold it here. Really sinking those hips, but using your legs to lift off your thighs off the floor. And again, we're going to do that nice twist, dip, stretching all along the outside of the body. Come back through center. And repeat on the opposite side. Come back to the center. push back into our downward facing dog. Breathe here. Then step your right foot in between your hands, coming into a high lunge. Sink your hips down and put your hands next to the right foot, and you just want to add a little rock here just to deepen the stretch. And if this feels very uncomfortable, if you are incredibly tight, please bear with yourself. You can be up here, you can have bends. Just slowly work yourself into it. You don't want to injure yourself. Like I said, this is a recovery flow. So the whole point is to release the tension out of the muscles. And then extend that front leg, coming into a pyramid. Try and have a nice long back. Extend through the spine. And again, if this is too difficult, you can have a bend in the knee. You can be here. Just go to wherever feels comfortable. And if you'd like to add a twist here, you can do. Careful with your balance so you don't fall. Reach that right arm towards the ceiling and really push through the left hand. Then come on back. Bend forward into our high lunge again. Push through that front foot and come on up into our crescent lunge. And add a little back bend here. Interlace your fingers, point your index finger up, and push that back heel towards the floor, having a nice straight back leg. Then come forward. Drop your back knee to the floor, coming into low lunge. And again, you want to sink those hips, deepening the stretch. And always focusing on that breathing. When you feel that tension and it's that pain there, you want to breathe through it, because sometimes that's just about where we're about to release. So you don't want to overdo it, but you do want to persevere so you can actually let the muscles release that stress and tension out of them instead of stopping too soon and then we don't get the benefits from it. Here we're going to come back into half split. We're just going to move from half split into low lunge a few times, getting into that hamstring. And then come back. Reach with your right hand for your left foot, and you can bring that heel towards your glute, coming into this really nice quadricep stretch. If you'd like to also get into the hip, you can also roll that right foot to the outside, and you'll see that it opens up the hip joint as well. If this is too intense for you, please stay in the previous position. And let go of that back foot. Come back into our high lunge. Hold it here. And then let's step back into our plank. And again, we're going to do that breathing exercise for 20. And off we go. Well done. Through our chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Hold here. Pull those shoulders down. And push back into our downward facing dog. And then we're going to repeat that on the opposite side. So step forward with your left foot in between your hands, coming into that high lunge. And again, placing your hands on the outside of the foot. You may be up on your fingertips, you might not be able to get to the floor, you might have your hands flat on the floor. Just work with your own body. And then add that back and forth movement to just deepen the stretch. I'm going to extend that front leg, coming into our pyramid. And anyone that has injuries, please be careful. You know I've suffered from a hamstring injury and it's taking forever to heal. So, don't force it. If you can feel that it's just too tight, then just go to where is sensible and comfortable for your own body. And again, if you'd like to add that twist here, you can do. Reaching your left hand towards the ceiling. Then come on back, bend forward into that high lunge again, and then push through that bottom foot, coming up into our crescent lunge, interlacing our fingers, adding a little back bend here. And then come on forward, drop that back knee, coming into our low lunge, and sink the hips. And again here we're going to come back and forth into our half split, and then forward into our low lunge. I'm just going to do this a few times. You can go at your own pace, whatever feels good for you. And then come back into that low lunge. You're going to reach for your right foot, bringing it towards your glute, coming into that nice quadricep stretch. Like I said, if you want to also get into the hip, you can rotate onto the outside of your left foot, and then that deepens the stretch too. And then use that hand to really pull the foot towards the glute, just to get even deeper into that quadricep. Then let go of that back leg, tuck your toes, come back into the high lunge, step back into plank, and again we're going to do our breathing exercise for 20, and off we go. And well done. Through our chaturanga, push up into our upward facing dog, and this time just push back into our child's pose again. Sink your chest towards the floor. Then come on up, tuck your toes, step forward with your right foot. We're just going to pivot round, coming into our wide-legged forward fold. You can stay here, and if this is as far as you can go, I want you to pigeon toe your feet inwards to help you with your balance. And you can just place your hands in front of you and just get comfortable. And you can slowly get into this really nice stretch here. If you do feel comfortable, you can reach for the outside of your ankles and bring your forehead towards the mat. And then just breathe here. And if anyone would like to deepen the stretch, you can interlace your fingers behind you and bring your hands over the top of your head, reaching your hands towards the floor. Just really opening up the shoulders. and then slowly come on up. If it's within your practice, you can reach your hand towards the right ankle and add a nice little twist here. Come on back to the center and change sides. Then come on back. And then we're just going to bring our feet in and come into our Malasana yogic squat. Now you might find that you can't put your feet on the floor here, you might be up here. Just work with yourself. The aim is to keep your feet flat on the floor, using your elbows to push out the knees and bring your hands into prayer position. And to add a bit of movement and getting into those hip joints, you can move side to side. If it's very tight, please, it's something that does take time, and a lot of people find this really hard. If you have very strong glutes and hamstrings, this will probably be quite hard until you ease your way into it. But I'm assuring you now that if you persevere, that these recovery programs will help you with any of your sports or fitness regimes that you do. Then come to the center, sit up straight, and really try and push those knees out. If anyone would like to, you can also place your hand to the outside of your foot and add a twist here. Again, using that arm to push the knee out. You don't want your knees to be falling inwards. And if it's within your practice, you can also add a bind here too, interlacing your fingers and looking over your shoulder. Then come on back out. Anyone who's joining me, let's repeat on the opposite side. Place your right hand to the outside of your right foot and add that lovely twist. And again, if you'd like to do a bind here, come into a bind, please do so. Then come on out, back to center. Hold it again here. We're just going to place our hands behind us and slowly come down onto the mat, bringing our feet together, coming into our butterfly position. You can try and keep using your knees, you want to pull them down towards the mat. If they're up here, that's also very normal. You just have to work with what you've got. Hold onto your hands, hold your hands onto your feet, and then try and pull those legs down to the floor and lengthen through your spine. And here we're going to do that breathing exercise again, but this time we're going to try and go for 30. So, ready, and off we go. Well done. And now extend your right foot to the outside of the mat, keeping your left foot on your inner thigh. Now we're going to add a nice little stretch here. You can place your forearm on the floor and reach your hand up and look towards the ceiling. If this is too difficult, stay here and you can just reach to wherever's comfortable. If it's here, perfect. Just go to wherever your body feels right. And if you want to, you can also reach for your toes. And then come on up, change sides, extend the left leg. And again, come to wherever's comfortable for your body. You might start off here and then feel like, you're stretching and you feel quite comfortable, and then move down towards your toes. And then come on up. Bring your legs together again. Come back into that butterfly. Here we're just going to pulse for 20. Halfway. And well done. Okay, I want you to turn around, coming into the center of your mat, and we're going to slowly roll down one vertebra at a time onto our backs. You're going to extend your right leg, get hold of behind the back of your knee, and just slowly bring it towards your chest. And you can point and flex as well to get deeper into the calf. And hold here. Then bring that left knee up. Place your right ankle on the top of your left knee. And you're just going to reach up, and you can either come through and pull your leg this way, or you can come behind the back of your knee and use your elbow to push out the outside knee, bringing your heel towards your chest, really getting into that glute. And then extend both legs and change sides, dropping your right leg to the floor, getting hold of the back of your left knee and bringing it towards your chest. And again, you can add that pointing and flexing if that feels good for you. And then bring that right knee up, place your left ankle on top of the right knee, lift it up, and again, either on top, bring it in, or behind, whatever feels best for you. And release. Extend those legs. Again, you can flex and point. Reach for the toes if that feels good as well. And then just going to bend your knees, come into a ball, get hold of your elbows, and you're just going to rock side to side, getting into that lumbar spine. One last squeeze, and then I want you to release everything and come and lie on your mat, extending your arms and your legs, coming into our final position, Shavasana. You're going to allow your feet to fall to the side and your hands to relax at the side of your body. I want you to close your eyes here and focus again on your breathing. Throughout this recovery practice, we've really gone into those muscles and allowed them to release that tension. So now it's important for the rest of our bodies and our mind to also relax and release any tension that we may be holding on to. So I want you to take these last few moments with me to just feel your body sinking into the mat. And any thoughts you may have, just allow them to come and go. As you focus on the inhales and exhales, And if you're ready to end this practice with me, I want you to waken up your fingers and toes, just give them a bit of a wiggle. Reach over the top of your head for a nice big stretch. And then before we end, I just want you to bring your hands behind you, keep your toes together, and we're just going to stretch through the front of our body. We don't often do this. So to end off our practice, we're going to just reach our hips towards the ceiling, drop our head back, and really extend through the front of that body. And again, taking 3 deep breaths here before we come on down. And slowly come back and meet me in the center of your mat in a comfortable position. Thank you so much for joining me on this recovery flow. I hope you really do feel like your body is a lot lighter and isn't holding on as much tension and stress in the muscles. If you did enjoy it, please like, subscribe, share with friends, family, and let's grow this channel together. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much.